What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Gore Pirates Dynasty here on NCAA 14, and also featuring an Oklahoma high school mod as well. We were able to bounce back. We were able to get our first win in a couple of weeks. We're now 9-1, but we are starting to close out that regular season. We come in as the number 7th ranked team in the state of Oklahoma, but we will host Sapulpa. Sapulpa is coming in 3-7. They have been called a lousy team, but we want to take them seriously because on paper we're not too different, you and I. Sapulpa comes in with a C overall squad with a slightly worse defense. Meanwhile, we are a C+ team with a B- defense. So I think we could handle it if we come out and actually take these guys seriously, but that is never a guarantee, especially when you have 14 to 17-year-old kids on your football field at any given time. It should be an intriguing matchup either way. I hope you guys are excited for it either way, and this should be a good one. So if you're excited about this video as well, I need you to do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button because, you know, I always love seeing the like button being pressed. It helps with that YouTube algorithm. And plus, hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right onto the field. Alright boys, so we are going to pick up a little bit more than a minute into this game because the Chieftains did go for you now on that very first possession, so you love to see that. Oh, you would have loved to see that completion as well. Tahoma Thompson had the senior open but could not hit him on the money. So instead it's going to be 2nd and 10, and we'll go back to the ground for RJ Valencia, who does manage to get his very first down of the game, a very successful 11-yard scamper. However, on the very next run though, we try to run this toss play out to the right-hand side, and Chad Henry is able to bring him down in the open field. Because he was able to bring him down the open field, that does mean that we have a much longer 2nd and 14, but we do at least get some of those yards and then a little bit more after that. However, it does lead to a 3rd and long coming up. RJ Valencia in the backfield. Thompson's going to drop back, though. He's got pressure right away, but he's going to scramble out of the pocket. This is that type of mobility that you love to see, and Tahoma Thompson is able to scamper out of bounds. An 18-yard run. Love to see it for Tahoma. So that does bring us firmly in the Chieftain field position. We're going to pitch it out to Mark Sasser. The transfer is going to find his way for a gain of 16 on the play. Let's go, baby. You love to see that kind of action. As that now firmly brings us into the red zone here. Let's see if we can finish our very first drive of the game. We'll see if we can finish it with points on the board. We do have another 3rd down coming in our direction. We'll see what we can do with this 3rd and 5. Thompson's going to line up over the shotgun. Going to throw quickly to the left-hand side, but a nice diving play by Colby Haynes. Colby Haynes doing an excellent job of just preventing that touchdown without interfering with our receiver. So we will bring our sophomore kicker out, Jake Hills, who does hit the field goal. While we're waiting for action to get going again, we do get a studio update with Newkirk trying to win their first game of the season. But that being said, the Chieftains offense has been completely stuck in the mud so far. We are most of the way through the first quarter at this point, and they have not received a single 1st down yet. They have been down horrendous, but not Dalton Barrettine though. He is going to spin his way across the 45-yard line. An excellent return, and that sets us up once again in Chieftain territory. Trying to set up the speed option here though, as Thompson quickly pitches it out to RJ Valencia. Cannot get away from the super dive cheese though, as that is nearly a 1st down for your Gore Pirates. Still want to have a positive passing play in our direction, and we finally do with Beef Wellington. Quick slant over to the left-hand side. That's his 1st catch of the day. Very next play, though, outside the red zone. Thompson drops back, looks over, and finds Joe Mitchell. Can't quite keep himself in bounds. might have had himself a first down if he was able to keep his momentum in, but instead going to be looking at 2nd and 5 instead, where Thompson is going to keep this himself and is going to scamper into the end zone. Touchdown Pirates! And the number 7 team in Oklahoma is going to extend its lead further, up 10-0. As we get yourselves yet another studio update, a key battle in Muskogee, Oklahoma, where Clayton has a narrow 7-0 lead. So the Chieftains are trying to stem the tide of momentum as we're into a danger zone spot here. This could be a spot where, if they don't score on this drive, potentially, we could see this game absolutely get out of hand, and get out of hand quickly, might I add. So a critical drive for the Chieftains. They got a 3rd and short coming up as they go with a 4-wide set. It's going to be a handoff to Gentry, who's got outside leverage. Doesn't pick up a significant chunk of yards, but does keep the drive going into the second quarter, where we have seen the score defense dominate, almost going the entire first quarter with nothing but 3 and out. So we go into the second quarter. We'll see if we can have a repeat performance from our guys as Cooper Legis is going to scramble upfield himself. First positive run for Cooper Legis. He's been sacked plenty of times today, to be honest with you, as now 1st and 10. Cooper looking to scramble yet again and gets absolutely walloped by the combination of Quadir Johnson and Chase Henry. He will bounce back onto his feet quickly and on the verge of another first down. Gentry looking to run to the left-hand side, though, and runs into both Porter Lindstrid and Austin Price, who ultimately finishes the job, getting the start for the injured Isaac Smith. And so we have a little bit more breathing room on 3rd and 4. Cooper looks out to the left-hand side and finds his receiver. A first down for the Chieftains. So the Chieftains having a solid drive here as they will get across the 45-yard line. Gentry staying on his feet, and John Gentry nearly picking up that first down after all. What an incredible run there, as now it makes this 3rd down so much more manageable. 3rd downs have been pretty kind to the Sapulpa Chieftains thus far. 3rd and 3 coming right up here, though, as it's going to take a while for him to snap this ball, but he finally does. Quickly finds Sturzer, who breaks a couple of tackles. Finally, was going to be wrapped around by the junior safety, Porter Lindstrid. And now we're staring down another 3rd down opportunity. I mean, the 3rd downs just keep coming, but eventually they will stop, though, as that pass does end up getting thrown a little bit on that short side. But with it being 4th and 1 and understanding what this game is all about, they're going to go for it here. They are going to absolutely risk it for the biscuit, and it's nearly intercepted by the senior Dalton Barrettine. That does mean that we will have a turnover on downs, and we will take over. Less than 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Thompson looking to take a deep shot, immediately finds Joe Mitchell downfield. Can't stay on his feet, but it's a 30-yard reception. That's how you do it, coming off of a turnover. Take that deep shot downfield, and maybe it'll work well in your direction. So we'll see if Tahoma Thompson starts warming up, as he hasn't had the chance to pass his football very much. Only 5 pass attempts to his name all game long so far. We'll see if he gets a chance to throw it here on a 3rd and 3. And it looks like he might do, actually, as Thompson looks around, looks over the middle of the field, finds Joe Mitchell on the seam. That is not as easy as a throw as it looks, ladies and gentlemen. And keep in mind, guys, this is a freshman quarterback, 14 years old, that is doing these types of throw. You want to talk about a certified bad man? We might have one in Tahoma Thompson. Thompson's going to again throw to the right-hand side and gets it out to Ashton Griffin, who gets the 10 toes down, or at least so we think. So not 100% sure if he actually got those feet down or not. So what we went ahead and did here is we went ahead, go into our no huddle, and look who's wide butt naked open here. Delano Tulsa. Delano Tulsa absolutely had nobody in his apparatus, And it absolutely showed there. Another touchdown for your Gore Pirates as we now extend it to a 17-0 lead. That being said, got 1:32 left to play here in the first half as the Chieftains looking to build off of their last drive. It was a good possession, just, couldn't finish the job. Felt spicy on that 4th down attempt, and it didn't work out for him. It was indeed a bold strategy, but it did not work out for Cotton. Now, that being said, though, brand new drive starts as they'll throw short over to Rollins. Rollins picks up some decent yards here. Does end up being brought down by the free safety Leon Wilson, as Sabupa will choose to throw up the middle, looking for Dallas Richard, but Richard cannot extend the football outward. So that does mean that the Gore Pirates will have one more chance at the ball before we go into the halftime locker room. We're already up 17-0. Let's see if we can make it 24-0 possibly, as that is a great first play. Beef Wellington also having the presence of mind of getting out of bounds as well, and is able to save some time off the clock. 24 seconds left to play. Thompson looks right. He's going to find Aston Griffin, and if there was a little bit more air under that ball, that could have been going for 6, but took the safe play, hit him on the hands, and now we're getting into our no huddle. Try it. Another 4 verts until it hurts, and we're going to hurt the defense big time here. Touchdown, Gore, and the Pirates are going to take a 24-0 lead into the halftime locker room. Tahoma Thompson, I think it is certainly safe to say that he is absolutely warmed up at this point of the game. We're looking to cook these Chieftains here in the second half. So let's see if we can do exactly that. Cook these Chieftains up here in the second half, and hey, maybe we can get those backups into the game, get them some valuable experience, as Legas does look to throw on one of the very first plays of the second half. We did start with the ball, and we actually did go 3 and out, so not how we want to ideally start things, but hey, you can't be perfect every single time. As how does Cooper get out of that? Oh my goodness, I thought we were going to light him up like a Christmas tree. He somehow escapes all that, though, and it's a new set of downs instead. Way to, be slippery in that pocket there, Cooper. Game recognizes game, even though, hey, you may be on that other team. 2nd and 10 coming up, though, as Legas looks to throw over the middle real fast and does find his check down in John Gentry. And John Gentry is able to pick up a decent chunk of yards yet again, making those 3rd downs more reasonable. And it seems like it's, the story of their life, living in these, 3rd and shorts, as doing a lot better on 3rd downs than what I personally would be comfortable with, right? Too many 3rd down conversions that we are giving up right now. We are allowing Cooper Langus to escape that pocket just way too much right now. We got to do a little bit better than that. A couple plays later, though, Legas again has time in the pocket, looks over the middle. This time he actually throws the ball and finds Dallas Richard for a 29-yard scamper. And now the Chieftains are in the red zone yet again, trying to score their very first points of the game. They have been shut out throughout this entire ordeal, and I don't know about you, I would love to try and keep that up for sure. But they've been good on 3rd down, and they're looking to keep that going. 3rd and 7 coming up. Legas looks around, throws over to right hand side. He's got Dallas Richard, and he finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Chieftains. And Zapielpa is finally on the board after 2.5 quarters of action. They do not go for the 2-point conversion, so it is a 24-7 game. Still a 3 possession difference. However, going to look to try to make it 4 possessions quickly. Is Dalton Barrettine. He's got a little bit of a lane to work through and actually gets across the 45-yard line. Another very good return there for the senior corner, as now our offense looks to get back to work. RJ Valencia in particular is looking to run it 20+ yards on the right hand side. Nice job with that triple option. Triple option, just an absolute beauty in NCAA 14, I'll tell you that. So good is that we'll run it with RJ Valencia yet again, and finds a little bit of a crease, getting skinny in there in the trenches, and is able to pick up yet another 1st down. Let's see if we can capitalize with points, though. Thompson looks over to right hand side and thought that Joe Mitchell had more space, but it is going to be intercepted instead. Kobe Haynes, who had that deflection in the first half, well, he's able to intercept this quarterback once and for all. And all of a sudden, the Chieftains, well, this Chieftain team does have a little bit of life in it, doesn't it? So here we are. We got another offensive possession because we do see that, we're like that. Chieftains cannot capitalize. That should have been a touchdown, though. Tahoma Thompson, if Beef Wellington made that block, that should have been a touchdown. Instead, 1st and 10, trying to set the pitch up. No, he keeps it himself yet again. Tahoma Thompson, call him a Texas Roadhouse biscuit because he is on a roll on this drive. Less than a minute left here in the third quarter, though. Trying to throw towards the end zone. It's intercepted again. Same guy, Kobe Haynes. This time matched up against the senior wideout, Jody Gentry. And that bad boy does mean that yet again, Gore is going to leave that possession without any points to its name. So just a couple of missed opportunities for the Gore Pirates here in the second half. Let's see if our defense can again hold it down here as Stearns are trying to run through a couple of defenders to pick up the first down, and does have some success in doing so, but 3rd and short coming up anyways, as now we'll try to sell out for the run, trying to blitz right up the gut. Sturzer goes into motion, gets matched up against Chase Henry. They run a screen, and the screen runs extremely well. Leon Wilson does eventually force him out of bounds, but it's a first down once again for the Chieftains of Zavyalpa. With that being said, this will likely be the last play of the third quarter, though, as Legas looks over the middle and checks it down to John Gentry, and he does turn that to another 10 yards. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the third quarter, and just a quarter filled of missed opportunities. One of the worst quarters that we've played all season. However, we still have a pretty sizable lead. We just can't get too comfortable, though. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the fourth quarter of action as John Gentry gets absolutely bamboozled, flabbergasted. That is Chase Henry able to lay the lid down. So, 2nd and 14 coming up, and really all of the Gore defenders are really coming through right now, and they are laying some serious wood right now here in this fourth quarter. They are looking to finish extremely strong here. 3rd and 8 coming up, as we do have Cooper Legas in the shotgun. He's going to drop back, got a little bit of time, and gets brought down. Loss of 8 there. Chase Henry gets his 2nd sack of the day, and his 1st sack since the opening drive of this ball game. But on a 4th and 16, you're not left with too many choices, especially in the fourth quarter. They're going to go for it here. Legas drops back, looks over to the left-hand side for John Gentry. But Brand Davidson let him know that he has nowhere to go. So nowhere to go, that means it's going to be a turnover on downs. And here we go, last 6 minutes of the game. Like I said, let's see if we can finish strong now. Let's see if we can finish on strong, as Beef Wellington does get his first catch of the day. Picks up a solid set of yards there. A gain of 15 on the play. There we go. 1st and 10 coming up. So you look to build off of that. Fakes the handoff and is looking to keep it for Tahoma Thompson, who tries to pitch it out to RJ Valencia. And it was a bad pitch. It was certainly a bad pitch that we witnessed there. So that pitch is going to cost us 3rd consecutive turnover. That's 3 turnovers in a row. That is Tahoma Thompson's fault. It's like he wants to keep this Chieftains team in the game. Like, what are we actually doing right now? Completely beyond me, to be absolutely honest with you. But as long as they don't score again, we don't have to worry about any of that. Just gotta play better moving forward. 3rd and 4 coming up, as we do have Legas trying the quarterback draw, and it actually works. we had Isaac Smith there ready to go, and he just got stood up there by Cooper Langus. He wanted it a little bit more. Porter Lindstrom had to come in to make the tackle instead. And now, Chieftains are going in their no huddle. Lack of time. I certainly don't blame them, as Porter Lindstrom lights up Dallas Richard. Surprised that is not a targeting call. Guess that wasn't as prevalent, in the early 2010s when this game was actually built and created. Talk about the source game, not this mod, of course. Couple plays later, though, do run into a 3rd and long, and we're going to send the blitz here, trying to, make this quarterback uncomfortable. They trying to pull a fast one and go with the halfback dive, but you already know when they run those halfback dives, we're always going to go ahead and shut that down. So now we're going to be looking at a 4th and 21 instead. Yes, you heard that correctly. We'll see what they try to do with a 4th and 21, and we only rushed 2. We literally just rushed 2 guys. That's it. And then that's Savion Simmons that's able to rush up in there and make a play on this ball. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. And he actually does tie the school record for 4 sacks in a single game as well. But with 3:15 left to go, we do end up making a change at the quarterback position. I was frustrated by the turnovers that we had for Tahoma Thompson. So I'm going to have him sit on the bench for the rest of this game, and Matt Gimitar is going to play for the last few minutes of this ball game. First meaningful playing time for the senior quarterback. Was our starter in the previous season, mind you. Had a good season. Just, Tahoma Thompson had more traits. It just works like that sometimes. But he's doing a good job directing the offense and just doing a good job of really helping and controlling the clock, showing that he is a veteran of the system. And with less than 2 minutes left to go, we're going to go ahead and let him rip it here. Going to set up a play action here, see what can happen. Can somebody get open? And sure enough, he's got a man open down the sideline and finds Beef Wellington in the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates! And we'll finish this game on a bang, most likely. But we do get one more studio update, though. Piedmont is going to be able to hold off Newkirk 25-21. So going into the final week of the regular season, the Newkirk Tigers, well, they are still going to be searching for their first win of the year. UConn and Stillwater also win their respective games. But that does end up being your final score, though. We do end up winning 31-7. A very convincing victory to be able to pull this off. 31-7 being that final score. Oh, baby, you absolutely do love to see it. Just not that complete game that we wanted necessarily. So a good win, but once again, this game turned into a performance of 2 halves. Our first half was one of those games where we couldn't do anything wrong in the first half, but then the second half was, complete opposite, right? Tahoma Thompson in particular embodied that. 10 for 15, 192 yards, had a couple of touchdowns, but he also threw multiple picks and fumbled the ball in the second half. So I did end up benching him for Matt Gimitar, and Matt Gimitar, while he only threw 1 pass, he led my offense pretty efficiently. We also ended up seeing RJ Valencia top 100 yards on the ground today. He had nearly 7 yards a carry in this one. Tahoma Thompson was very effective on the ground, though. He had 6 carries for 84 yards, also had a rushing touchdown as well, all things considered. For the receivers, not a lot of diversity in terms of who touched the ball today. Beef Wellington did get most of the catches. He had 82 yards and a touchdown in this game, and then Ashton Griffin was also able to find the end zone. Delano Tulsa, with his only catch, was also successful in finding the end zone as well. And then, of course, defensively, defense played a very complete game today, with the exception of, 1 touchdown given up. Porter Lindstrom was your leading tackler today. He had 9 tackles, 2 TFLs, and a sack. But a lot of love needs to be given to Savion Simmons, because Savion Simmons was living in that backfield all day long. He tied a school record for most sacks in the game. He had 4 sacks in a single game, 5 TFLs. And that wasn't even the only guy that had multiple sacks. Jace Henry had 3 sacks too. Thomas Holsky had a sack as well. So we had 9 sacks on the quarterback. That opposite QB, well, he's going to be spending a lot of time in that hot tub and trying to get right for his next game, because man, I'm sure he's going to be feeling it the very next morning. But next week will not only be our last regular season game here in year number 3, what this also represents is that next episode is senior day as well. So I want to take this game as an opportunity. While Edmond Santa Fe is extremely important, I do want to try to sprinkle in seniors that don't normally get to play very much for being a part of our program for all 4 years. So we're going to honor our seniors in the next episode, and then hopefully next time out, we also put together that complete game against Edmond Santa Fe. But that leaves to remains to be seen. So really excited about the upcoming episode coming up. I hope you enjoyed this one, even though it wasn't necessarily a complete performance for us. If you did, make sure you go ahead and smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new to the channel. We love the vibes over here, man. With that being said, this is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. Hope you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.